Oh, it's so relaxing. Hello, collective. How is your vibe? We say hello to you, collective. Hello. We love you so much. We love you so stinking much. It is painful how much we love you. How can we love you so much? How can we love something so much? Unconditionally. We are here for you, bringing the messages forward, being a messenger of holy divine light, and hoping that it helps you find alignment in any way, shape, or form. We are so proud of you. We love coming here, co creating with you in this very unique way. My name is Patience. I am your host of Spirit News. I am guided by my very own spirit team, the Guild of the Golden Triangle. I am developing my psychic abilities here in real time with you, helping you and myself learn the ways of the universe so that we can find alignment. Everything artsy. Can I go to woo woo? Amen. Ding. Oh my gosh. We love you more, Queen Patience. Everything artsy back in the house. Oh my gosh, I love you so much. We're so proud of you. We're so grateful to be here in this vessel, being able to bring the messages for it. I am so, hello, everybody. Welcome. Come in, come in. Yes, all are welcome. None are rejected. We have documented our whole psychic development ascension process that has been guided by our very own spirit team, the Guild of the Golden Triangle. You can find all of our socials in the link tree in the description bar. Hello, thank you so much for being here. I'm here with my very own spirit team. I've put my protection on, I've meditated, I've prayed, I've done all the things to be able to be a clear conduit for Holy Divine Spirit, to bring the messages forward, to understand ourselves from a higher perspective, bringing you higher perspectives of linear views. Spirit news! That was given to me by my spirit team. I did not make that up. That was given to me because I asked for it. I went into a deep meditation one day, and I was watching a woman, a clairvoyant. Her name is Elizabeth April. I always get it backwards, but her name is Elizabeth April. She's a clairvoyant. She had a similar story to mine, and that's why I had to continue to listen to her. Go upstairs, please. I'm getting my dino and rattlesnake. Okay. Love you. Bye. I took her course for astral projection. Actually, I took her course for astral projection, and which was amazing. I highly recommend it. She has a website, Elizabeth April, and she also has a mantis being from the future, which I have too. That's one of my spirit guides, which is a future version of myself. And I was resonating so hard with her that I ended up taking a course from her, and she really helped me to understand that I'm not the only one. And most likely, if you're watching this, if you're guided to watch this, there are intuitive hits that you're getting. You're being activated at this time, and everybody's here doing the best they can. I actually forgot what I was going to say because my son came in. Well, I guess it wasn't important. Something about Elizabeth April. Well, maybe it'll come back to me. Sorry. Wasn't important. But I was guided to act. I was activated. Oh my gosh, that's so weird. I had this whole thought in my head and it just left my head. There's been a lot of blockages lately. I'm going to tell you that right now. Energetically, I've been feeling very forgetful. I've been feeling very almost like when I have a very important thought, or like when I'm getting a download, it'll just like literally leave my head. And that's actually been happening a lot this past week. I don't know what it is. I'm learning energy too, so I'm not like the expert on it. I'm learning as I go. But from what I'm learning is that thoughts are energy. So if you have a lot of people, if you have a lot of people in your energy field that are projecting on you or that are cursing you or that are sending you energy that they don't want you to speak or to be fluid or to find alignment, then that is an energy that's called a psychic attack. I also learned that from Elizabeth April. It's a psychic attack. And if you are a very sensitive person, a neurodivergent, someone who has heightened sensitivities, someone who is being activated in this time, then those are going to be things that affect you. And that is ultimately why we're so passionate about making spirit news and doing these broadcasts, these transmissions, because every time we do them, we learn something new about energy from energetic beings of love and light. And that's who you want to learn from. You don't want to just read a book on Google and assume that that is Bible. You want to be able to fact check or to at least see what your spirit guides say. So that's why we teach you to be able to activate that own knowledge within yourself so you can follow your own spiritual guidance from your very own spirit team, because that's what they're there for. It is not up to you to be in your ego and to seek out spiritual knowledge from some stranger on Google or on Instagram. That's what your spirit guides are for. That's what angels are for. And that's why we teach you to honor your non-physicalness, because we want you to know that you are capable of having your own guidance yourself. And so we do this to learn for ourselves, but to show you that it's being done. Not for you to do it like us, but for you to see it's being done. And I'm a child psychic. I was born this way. I repressed my abilities just like Elizabeth April and others. I repressed my abilities because it was not safe to be in that authentic part of myself. So I decided to just kind of turn it off. And then through traumatic experiences about 4 or 5 years ago, it was spontaneously activated, and I was guided by my spirit team to take courses by multiple different teachers that are sent to me by spirit, and I listened to that guidance, and now I'm here giving you the knowledge that we learn in real time and hoping that it helps in any way, shape, or form. Okay? That's so weird. I hate when a thought leaves my head. But that's why you have to protect yourself, and you have to understand that that can happen, and you have to understand that energy is something you can't see, so it's affecting you all the time because you're an energetic being having a human experience. And so when you accept that you are energy inhabiting an avatar, you can have a fuller life because you'll be able to, from that point of awareness, you'll be able to control your thoughts, to choose your thoughts, to create your own reality. Okay? Pointless talking and not talking with people that are writing to you. Well, oh, Spirit said machine. That's just a bot. See, there's bots in here. There's going to be bots in here. There's going to be bots in real life. They're called non-human players that are just kind of like filling up space, and they're there to trigger you. They're there to, activate something within you, to see what emotions you need to heal. So luckily, I'm at a pretty good place in my emotions where I don't care. I don't really care. So I was reading a psalm. A second ago. It's Psalm 119, a prayer to God, the lawgiver. And it was beautiful. It's a very good psalm. I highly recommend it. It's about your testimony. It's about following the commandments. It's about observing the statutes that God has given us and like living that way, and how being grateful. And it kept bringing up the commandments. So I was like, well, let me just bring up the commandments. There's 10 of them. They were given to Moses at Mount Sinai, which I actually had a dream once that I was an oracle of Sinai. I had a dream about that. I was the oracle of Sinai, Mount Sinai. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that is a real thing, but I had a dream that I was literally named. People come to see me on Mount Sinai as the oracle of Sinai. So I don't know if that's true. But the 10 commandments are: you shall have no other gods before me, you shall not make idols, you shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy, honor your father and mother, you shall not murder, you shall not commit adultery, you shall not steal, you shall not bear false witness against your neighbor, and you shall not covet. So the one that stood out to me the most was 2. Honor your father and mother, and you shall not bear false witness against your neighbor, which basically means not make up stuff against people or make up lies against people or spread gossip is basically what that means. Hey, if you guys aren't going to be nice, I'm going to get you out of here. If you guys are going to be naughty, I'm going to get you out of here. Hey, Zara! If you guys are going to be naughty, I'm going to get you out of here. But if you want to stay and get the heels in the fields, I'll let you stay. I'll give you the choice. It's a choice, okay? Well, then you can get out of here and I'll block you, all right? So, actually, your body is a temple. That means no touch. That's not true, actually. That's not true. At least in my reality, that's not true. If you want it to be true in your reality, then that's fine. And they can both exist at the same time. I don't have to live your way. You don't have to live my way. So that's what's so beautiful about this reality that we're in. We can have multiple beliefs and they can all be true based on what we believe, because a belief is just a thought you keep thinking. It doesn't mean it's true for everybody. Okay, so let's continue. So this was talking about the commandments. So I don't know if God wants us to observe the commandments or if God wants to just bring them up, or if they're going to have to do with something, if that was just a PSA, I don't know. But the 2 that stood out the most was 5 and 9. Honor your father and mother. So this could be about someone's father and mother, or I'm not sure yet. I'm just following the clues that Spirit's giving me. So we'll see. Holy Divine Spirit, any negativity that is trying to bring this message down or stop this message from coming forward, I ask you to please lift it from this place and seal it off with love and light. Thank you so much. Please protect us in the collective from any negativity trying to expand on us or take our passion away. I love you so much. Thank you. I feel a lot of weird energy that I've never felt before. So I'll read quickly a little bit of the psalm. Blessed those whose way is blameless, who walk by the law of the Lord. Blessed those who keep his testimonies, who seek him with all their heart. They do no wrong. They walk in his ways. You have given them the command to observe your precepts with care. May my ways be firm in the observance of your statutes. Then I will not be ashamed to ponder all your commandments. I will praise you with sincere heart as I study your righteous judgments. I will observe your statutes. Do not leave me all alone. How can the young keep his way without fault? Only by observing your words. With all my heart I seek you. Do not let me stray from your commandments. In my heart I treasure your promise that I may not sin against you. Blessed are you, O Lord. Teach me your statutes. With my lips I recite all the judgments you have spoken. I find joy in the way of your testimonies, and with testimonies more than all riches. I will ponder your precepts and consider your paths. In your statutes I delight. I will never forget your word. So yeah, lift me up according to your word. Lead me from the way of deceit. The way of loyalty I have chosen. Didn't I say it's a choice? Didn't I say I'd give you guys a choice? I said I would let you choose if you're going to be good or if you're going to be bad. Oh, thanks, Joey. Thanks for being here, guys. So that's the thing about being in this reality, is everything is a choice. You have free will. God gives us free will to be able to choose if you're going to, choose to do black magic over people, or you're going to choose to heal and release that need to control everything, or are you going to curse people? Are you going to commit adultery? You're not going to have self-control. You're not going to be disciplined. Are you going to covet your neighbor, envy what people have over what you have, or are you going to be grateful for what you have? There's there's a very thin line between love and hate, and it's easy to cross if you aren't aware of your energy and how to discern who's good for you, who's bad for you. 144, 16, 144 on the clock. It's a choice to do bad things, and I think that what Spirit's trying to say with this message, and by me even saying I'll let you choose if you're going to be bad or good, it's a choice. Nobody's making you say those horrible things that you want to say. I'm not making you say it. You're choosing to say it. I'm not, nobody's forcing you to make that horrible decision that's going to hurt other people. You're choosing to do that. No one's forcing you to gossip about people. You're doing that because of an unhealed wound of unworthiness. It always comes back to some kind of unhealed wound where people are acting in unhealed versions of themselves, because a healed person who, Spirit said flatulently. Yeah, because it stinks. People are making a big stink about people who are doing the right thing, who are choosing to be a better person. If someone's choosing to have a better life or be a better person or take the high road, or choosing not to feed negativity, you can't turn around and go gossip about them and make them into something they're not. That is a choice. Okay, I'm just using that as an example. I don't know if that's what's going to come out, but I think what this read is going to be about, if I'm reading the energy correctly, as a psychic, as someone who honors my non-physicalness and using my emotions as a way to read what Spirit's trying to tell me, because Spirit speaks in symbols, Spirit speaks in metaphors, they use music, because everything's energy here. So Spirit is non-physical, just like the Wi-Fi. You know that Wi-Fi exists. You know that you use it. You know what it's for. You know that when you use your phone, it's going to be connecting to Wi-Fi. You know that that is an energy that is connecting you to something. Well, it's the same with Spirit. And and Spirit is just Spirit says say goodbye. They want me to start the read, but Spirit is just a catch-all phrase we use for all energy that is connected to divine energy, angels, spirit guides, ancestors, loved ones, beings of love and light. We just use Spirit as a catch-all. So I feel like we're going to be talking about choice and the statutes and commandments that are broken all the time. And we're not saying that you have to be like some Christian devout going to church and being all uppity about religion, but I mean, the Ten Commandments, what I remember, and I'll say this quickly because Spirit has a message. I read this book called I believe it's called Urantia, and it's the Book of Urantia, I believe it's called. And that's what the universe calls Earth, outside of Earth. They call it the Urantia. Or according to this text that I read. And it's a channeled message from like 1920s or something, where a group of doctors got a channeled message that appeared out of thin air, and it had knowledge in it. And some of the knowledge that it's kind of hard to read through, because it's kind of, no offense to the channeled message, but it's kind of boring because it's very like I don't know, like it's very, it's not like imaginative like a story. It's just very like matter of fact. And it said that it kind of talks about the history of Earth, and the history of Earth. Earth is a lot older than you think it is. Earth is beyond your imagination, okay? And in the beginning, it wasn't always the way it is now, obviously, but it wasn't even the way it was in the Bible. There's been so many ages or cycles of Earth that are always different in a certain way because of the time it's in, but it's essentially some of the same lessons that we learn over and over again in cycles. And so in this book, it talks about how religion was introduced, and religion is not something that is universally spread out. It's something that is based on Earth because it is a part of Earth's history to be able to control a group of beings that need to have some kind of community. They need to feel they have community. And so a way to kind of trick us into being controlled in a way is through religion. It's a way to control us. So I'm not saying that because I read the Bible I'm this super religious person, but everybody has different beliefs here, okay? And a belief is just a thought you keep thinking, and you can change your beliefs at any given time. And one belief will not be what you believe. Like someone just wrote that because I have tattoos that my body's not a temple, but to me that's not true. And from what I know, that's not true. But to that person, it is true. So I'm not going to tell them that they're wrong. I'm just going to say that's not what I believe. And that's okay because we can all exist at the same time and have different beliefs. And so that's the thing with religion. There's so many different religions, and all of them have different qualities to them, different beliefs, and that's fine. You can believe whatever you want, but what it really comes 11, thank you, Spirit. What it really comes down to is the statutes that the creator has given this reality to live by if you want to maintain your frequency to be connected to holy divine energy, and not in a religious way. I'm just talking about that our energy is pure our true existence is pure positive energy. Okay, that is what we exist at. And we come here into density, into a denser vessel to experience a limited reality because we thought it would be fun. We thought it would be fun to, in theory, to come down here and try to see how long it takes to remember what we actually are, to ascend, to come back to our original form or original beingness, okay? And so we came here to do that, and the reason why we forget is so we don't remember who we are, because then it wouldn't be fun. It would be too easy to do, if you knew all the answers, it wouldn't be fun. It's just like playing a game. When you look up all the ways to cheat the game, it doesn't become fun anymore. It's more fun when you're figuring out the puzzles and when you're taking the time. So,
switch to speech mode.
People will say the darndest things, and those are the kinds of people that are afraid of coming into their true abilities or coming to their true selves, because what it means is that they have to take responsibility for how shitty they are, and people don't want to come to that reality. So what I'm saying is that religion is just a way to, it's just another belief. Okay, and you can choose to believe it, you can choose to not, you can choose your religion. Some people choose to be in a cult, and then next day later decide that was a mistake. You can make a mistake, and that's okay. 18:8. I don't know why it was important to say that, but the book of Urantia was basically saying how it used to be lawless, and there were no laws, and the creatures on the earth were doing whatever they wanted. They were pillaging and raping and stealing, and there was no law. And so the statutes came in order to create some form of civility to make it bearable to even stand. I mean, if we really have it really good, if you think about the way it used to be, you couldn't even, women were attacked all the time, and there were diseases, and there was war, like far beyond what's going on now. It was a constant daily thing for everyone. And their food was scarce, and most spirits and merciless. People had no morality. And so that's the energy we're going into, where we're going from the head to the heart. And this on Spirit News, we teach you about the time jump, where we're going into a new energy, where we're leaving a dark age and we're going into a golden age, and that's going to honor more compassion, more empathy for people. We're going to have more community, and it's not going to be survival of the fittest. It's not going to be like that. We're going to want to help each other. So when it comes down to religion, ultimately, even if someone believes something different than you, it's ultimately going to come down to helping each other no matter what walks of life you come from, no matter what you believe in. It's going to come down to not judging each other. It's going to come down to just having the basic morality of not hurting each other is what it's going to come down to not want to hurt somebody else because of your unhealed wounds, I sound like a Scientologist. Well, okay, that's your opinion. I don't think I do, but oh gosh, there's a lot of haters in here today. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking. I don't know why Spirit wanted me to say that, but let's see. We're gonna do our what do you meme cards today. Okay, let's see what the vibe is. Holy Divine Spirit, please clear the field of any negativity trying to bring this message down. I ask that you please connect with us so we can get a message. Perfume. Thank you so much, Spirit. What up, Spirit? Agree. Thank you. What's going on? Tell us what you want us to know. Spirit said agree. There's a lot of haters in here today. When you get home and your roommate ate all the leftover pasta fagioli and you had saved from the night before. I love pasta fagioli, by the way. When you get home and your wife, Spirit said wife. When you get home and your wife ate all the leftover pasta fagioli you had saved from the night before. Oh, thank you, Ron Burgundy. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Logan. Spirit always says the name Logan. I don't know why. When you introduce two of your friends and they start hanging out without you. When you introduce two of your friends and they start hanging out without you. When you get home and your roommate ate all the leftover pasta fagioli you had saved for the night before. And you introduce two of your friends and they start hanging out without you. Huh. Okay. When you say you speak a little Spanish and they try having a full-fledged Spanish conversation with you. When you eat a bunch of Mexican food and your butthole feels like a sriracha cannon. Oh. Okay. So, Spirit, tell me if I'm wrong. There are... Anatolia? What's that? Hold on, before I say what I think, let me see. What is Anatolia? I think I'm going to have to spell that. Anatolia, also known as Asia Minor, has two definitions. It's either bounded by imprecise line. Wait, what is it? Middle Eastern. Asia Minor. Asian portion of Turkey. I don't know why Spirit said that, but Anatolia, premium quality, creative designs, patented technology represent Anatolia's leadership in the tile and stone industry. I don't know why Spirit just said Anatolia. Minor Turkish peninsula, bounded by the Black Sea and the Mediterranean Sea. Okay. Well, I'll keep it locked away in the back of my mind because maybe someone here is from Turkey or is Middle Eastern or 2000s. Someone here maybe Middle Eastern and Spanish and Mexican or Latin and Italian. Italian, Latin, and Middle Eastern? So, okay, Spirit, tell me if I'm wrong. I'm going to say what I see. There seems to be perhaps a roommate and a friend who you may have introduced, or you introduced your friend to one of your other friends and they started hanging out without you. They may have been having conversations about you, full-fledged conversations without you, speaking about things that they didn't understand about you. When you eat a bunch of Mexican food and your butthole feels like a sriracha cannon. But now something that they did may have exploded or may have weakened. Yeah, something has weakened them. They're sick. They may be actually physically sick. Spirit just said weekend. Like weekend, like not the weekend, but WEAK. Week. Okay. 12 o'clock. Thank you, Spirit. So this may be because of some kind of revenge, because this says when you get home and your roommate ate all the leftover pasta for Joel. Female energy. This is a feminine energy. They may be holding some kind of grudge against you because of something that you did, or something like that. We'll get more information. Yeah, look at the top of the deck. Dude, I can't have this conversation with you again. Move on. Something that you may have said to them, or maybe something they brought up to you, but you didn't think it was a big deal. So you're like, okay, well, I know that upset you, but eventually you have to move on. Like something like that. When you realize your anxieties have anxieties. So these two friends may have trauma bonded over their anxiety of you and something that you speak about, something that they've had a conversation together about you, something that you do, because you say very little Spanish and they have a full-fledged conversation. It doesn't have to be Spanish. This could be a metaphor for something that you do that they think you don't know anything about, or that you don't speak their language, something like that. They may be talking about this behind your back together. This may have trauma bonded them together because it gives them anxiety about something that you do that they think you don't. They think very little of you, or that you have very little knowledge of, but they have a full-fledged negative. or it could be that something you're talking about that they are wondering how you know about gives them anxiety. They have anxiety because of something that you're talking about. And it's giving them their butthole sriracha cannon that's making them sick because of something that you're talking about. When you show up to a slutty Halloween party dressed as a zombie bride, when you show up to a slutty Halloween party dressed as a zombie bride, when you realize your anxieties have anxieties, there may have been some kind of get-together around Halloween, or there's going to be something around Halloween about, I have conversation twice. So you have a group of people, or at least 3 to 4 people who are holding some kind of grudge against you, and you're giving them anxiety. They're already anxious, but they're having some shared anxiety about something that you're saying. And they may be planning some kind of meeting or party or something to have a conversation. Skull, thank you, Spirit. To have a conversation about what you're saying. How to go steal some stuff. You want anything? Oh my God, didn't I just say a commandment? Thou shalt not steal?
1970s.
These people may have a living room. These people may have had a conversation about stealing something from you and that might be what's giving them anxiety because you are talking about it. When all your friends are getting married and having babies and you're still giving head in the backseat of cars. And I have when you show up to a slutty Halloween party dressed as a zombie bride. When you run into someone you hardly knew in high school and they say, hit me up sometime, we gotta chill. Either someone from high school or someone who's immature. Oh my God, are you kidding me? Okay, so
Agonizing.
thank you, Spirit. So you have a couple of friends and roommates and people from high school possibly, or people just immature who decided to trauma bond against you because they are people who are very anxious and very insecure. And some of them are mad at you because of something you did when you were roommates or something from their, like you may have borrowed something from theirs and not given it back, or ate their leftover food and didn't say anything, something like that. And you didn't make a big deal about it. You didn't think it was a big deal. So yeah, that's one person. There's a lot of energy here. And then you have another person, a friend, who may be jealous of you because you're married and you have babies and they're still giving head in the backseat of cars, showing up slutty to parties, feeling like a zombie bride, feeling, dead inside. Okay? And then you have someone else who's very immature that you, thank you, Spirit, that you may have shut down. They may have wanted to say, hit me up sometime, we gotta chill. They may have tried to, come on to you and you didn't want to do that. You weren't up to chill with them, but they're very immature. Okay, excellent. I'll pick you up on my scooter. You may have been very nice to them, like you didn't you may have shut them down in a very nice way. And sometimes when you do that, when you aren't just like blunt, like, no, I'm not interested, people will sometimes take your kindness as like an invitation to that you want them or something. It kind of feels like that vibe. So there's a lot of energy here. A lot of people that came together about you, they trauma bonded about you, possibly at a party that was around Halloween, where that they were
This
all
town is haunted.
that they were all invited to.
Right.
Yes, Spirit said right. Um, and you got brought up in conversation about something that you say, something that you talk about, something that they think that you know very little of, something that they think they are better at than you. And it also came up at this party after they were talking about you that they wanted to steal something from you. They all decided to steal something from you. But I don't know what that is yet. But now, after this plan, right now, or at some point in the situation, they all got sick. They may be actually physically sick. When you eat a bunch of Mexican food and your butthole feels like sriracha cannon. Or they may have been spewing out diarrhea of the mouth, which is another commandment. So, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor, thou shalt not commit adultery. Um, what was the other one? I forgot them. You shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. Thank you, Spirit said talking. Thank you. So there's these all of these friends made up stuff about you, and to justify going against you to steal something from you. And that's why their butthole feels like sriracha cannon right now, because they had butthole sriracha cannon mouth about you. They committed adultery. They tried to steal something from you. They bore false witness against you. They were coveting you. Who knows? Maybe they have false idols. I don't know. Let's see. I think Spirit's calling these people out. Because there's a group of friends that literally came up against you. When you finally meet his roommate and he says, oh, you're the girl he's always FaceTiming with, but you have an Android. I told you, adultery. I told you. So they may have said that you were committing adultery. Oh, my nose is itching. Confirmation. That may be one of the bear false witness against your neighbor, one of the lies they told against you, that you were always FaceTiming with somebody. Because they were upset that you didn't want to chill with them, even though they're possibly married. It's a choice, you guys. It is a choice, okay? It's a choice to do this shit. It's a choice. Several entities. Let's do some word tiles. Shall we? Spirit, give me some word tiles. Okay, so there's at least 3 to 4 people here that all came together at a party. Okay? They hate you. It's scary. It's scary because they hate you because you're beautiful. Okay? And they're like glass. They're like glass houses. Okay? They're compulsive and gross. They have no self-control. Heavy chimp. It could be somebody who's heavy set and maybe they hate on your body. Maybe you take care of your temple, you eat good, and you work out. Could be somebody who's tall with tattoos. Somebody who's shallow and pops off like popcorn. Someone who pretends to be innocent. Someone who's a show-off, like Simon Cowell. Pointy. Someone who's always pointing at others instead of taking responsibility. Someone who's always horny. Someone who could possibly have a sex addiction. Someone who's dull, but acts like they're some... True, Spirit said. Someone who's dull, but acts like they're some kind of Captain Save-A-Ho, some kind of white knight, a wild dictator. Toy Story play, someone who's playing all the time, someone who's always making up stories. Someone who... Wow, seriously? Okay. This is throwing... What's that saying? Throwing stones at glass houses. At someone who's innocent and beautiful. It's scary. Somebody who is beautiful, who wears a glass slipper. I just read that story last night. Cinderella. This is like the vibe of Cinderella, and she had the stepmother and the two evil stepsisters. It's that energy, you know. It could be family. I don't know. It could be family, but it feels like that energy. Just hating on somebody, holding grudges against somebody, justifying why you would steal something from someone. Let's see if we can find out what they stole. What did they steal? What did they try to steal? These people may have stolen something from you, or tried to steal something from you, or may have tried to rob you or something. Cherries and a cherry on top. And a cherry on top. They thought this would be the cherry on top. Not only would they get to make somebody who's innocent seem like they're shallow and dull, they made up some wild story about somebody who's beautiful and innocent.
Comparison.
I told you, comparison. Thou shalt not covet. There's people here who are comparing themselves to somebody who's beautiful and innocent, who wears a glass slipper, because they're compulsive and gross, because they're shallow. If you don't like what you look like, if you don't like that somebody else, your friend, your roommate, your family member is doing perceivingly better than you, then why don't you just ask them what they're doing? Why don't you just say, hey, I really like where you're at in life. How'd you get there? What are you doing? How's you doing it? I don't know. That just seems like what I would do. I don't know. There's something, they made up stories about how you're a slut and that you're cheating on someone, that you're a cheater, that you steal things from people. They made up all these things because they compare themselves to you, and they're compulsive and gross and shallow and dull. So, and they're dictators. They have control issues. They thought it'd be a cherry on top. Brother? Sure said brother. Lost Disneyland. Darth Vader. Rare. Wow. Where to? Let me see. Should I do these? Spirit, tell me what else? What else? Lose all hair everywhere. Someone here might be losing their hair. If they're not literally losing their hair, they're pulling their hair out with some kind of stress that they're going through for doing something they did. Bleach in the eye. someone may be seeing something that's hard to see now, something that's hard to see for them, something that feels they may be watching. Well, it all started with something that you're saying. It may be feeling like bleach in the eye or giving them stress. What is the collective saying that's making these people stressed out? Your mom catches you. Well, your mom catches you masturbating. This arm is cut off from a hand. Losing control? Because they're losing control of something? This could be your mom. They're losing control of something that used to bring them pleasure, but now they're losing it because they can't stand watching you do something. Half dead hooker in your bed. Half dead hooker in your bed. Step in dog shit. Your spouse fucks the person on your left. No. Stop it. Okay, I'm just gonna say it. Spirit, tell me if I'm wrong. These people are freaking out about something you're saying. Nephew. Brother and nephew. They're freaking out about something you're saying because they used to do something to you. They stole something from you. Either they stole something from you and that gave them great pleasure, and now their hands are being cut off because of something that you're saying, and watching you is like bleach in the eye because they're waiting for you to say something about something they did. Because all of these people have done something horrible, okay? Adultery, possibly hurting somebody, I don't know, okay? Doing something that they don't want you to talk about or bring up. Data. I told you, Spirit just said data. They don't want you to, they feel like they stepped in dog shit, and that's why they're freaking out, because they didn't expect something like stepping in dog shit. They didn't expect something, and now every time they watch you, it's like bleach in their eye and like pulling their hair out because they're getting caught with pubes. Caught with pubes in the zipper because something that they did, something that they stole from you, they don't want you to find out about it, or they don't want you to speak about it or tell people or something. Gout. They want you to doubt. They want you to doubt something. Doubt, I want to say abilities. They want you to doubt your abilities. Smell like a fart for the rest of your life. Flatulence. Spirit said flatulence when we first started. There could be paranormal.
Sure.
Sure, Spirit said. There may be paranormal activity happening with these people that they are not understanding. And Spirit said sure when I said that. Watch a porn video of your parents with your parents. There's some kind of video evidence or something that was on film or videoed or recorded that was pleasurable at the time, but now is causing immense stress, and they don't want you to find out about this video. In-laws visit for a week. Passive aggression. Visit Judgment, Ohio. Condensation. Condens. What? Condescension, Massachusetts. This could, Spirit said empath. This could be people that are in New England or Ohio, Massachusetts or Ohio. They were passive aggressive about the way they felt about you, about things that you did to them that they felt justified this behavior. And instead of just talking with you about it or telling you about it, they made up wild toy stories about you because they're shallow and they're compulsive. And they made you seem like you were the one who was some kind of like slutty adulterer or something, because they're immature and you turn them down, or there's some things that you did that they perceived as being big, as they perceived as being like things that they wouldn't tolerate, because they're wild dictators that have compulsions. They may have done things in private that they never thought would come out, but something that you're saying, and I don't know like how or why you're saying it or why they even care, but something that you're saying is making them feel a lot of stress. Some kind of video. I don't know. What's this video? So it could be family, friends, and a coworker or something. It could be your mom. Spirit said brother and nephew. And this says roommate and friend. And then I have somebody who, this is like a group of people oh, Spirit said Sari. Isn't that a Hebrew name? Hold on. Because Spirit said Anatolia, which is in Turkey. Origin of Sari. The word sari comes from the Sanskrit word saadi, which means a strip of cloth. Bangladesh. Sari is a traditional Indian garment. Oh, a sari. Sorry. Oh, Spirit said not so. So sari is either a name or somebody here wears one. I don't know. Okay, let's see if we can narrow this down. Let me see. Attitude.
I will try.
Yes, I will try. I will try. I'm trying. How can we narrow this down? Can you please tell me what they tried to steal? Is there a way for you to tell me what they tried to steal? What is the biggest thing you have ever won? The number 3, I told you, this could be 3 people, 3 to 4 people that tried to steal something that would have been the biggest thing they ever won. They were really contemplating it. This was premeditated. It's constantly reminding you that you just lost the game. You just lost it again. But they lost. 13. They lost. They tried to gain something by stealing it, and from somebody who's innocent. Tell us about the time you realized you were turning into one of your parents. And I have mom and your parents, a porn with your parents. It says, watch a porn video of your parents with your parents. Their catchphrase is, I'm HIV positive. That's not funny, you know, I don't want to laugh about that, but one of these people may have had the last laugh because they did something on video together possibly sexually, and possibly with a prostitute, or one of them is a prostitute, and they all may have contracted something. And that's it's constantly reminding you that you just lost the game and you just lost it again. So not only did they lose in life by trying to take something from you, but they lost twice, because not only are they going through all this stuff that's supernatural, but they also have contracted a STD, an incurable STD. Will realistically never be out of crippling debt. Oh my gosh. Because of something that they did to you. Their death will earn you a Nobel Peace Prize. There's a group of people here that did something horrible to somebody who was innocent. And because of that, you were a household appliance, what would you be? Because they viewed you as some kind of object. They didn't care about your well-being. They didn't care that you were innocent. They didn't care that they were being compulsive. All they cared about was making up this. They made up some kind of story about you because of their own insecurities, because you're beautiful. And they all trauma bonded on this fact that you were the common denominator at a party. They all met each other and you were the common denominator. And they all had something that gave them anxiety about you. None of it was very plausible. It's like you dissed one person, you got married and had babies, and one of your friends did not. One was a roommate that you may have like kicked out, or stopped being roommates with because you don't want to be roommates with them anymore. They all teamed up together, and there even may be a mother here that stole something from you. Okay. And they all teamed up against you to make up a story about you, about how you're a slut and you're promiscuous and you have diseases and like all kinds of stuff, and that you're a sex addict, when really that's someone in this group. They may have made a video or put out a video or something with a video that's of sexual nature, of you or of your spouse having an affair or something like that. They weren't realistic about their actions. They weren't realistic about the game they were playing. When you do things like this out of insecure, low thoughts, it's a choice. These people chose 1616. It's a choice. When you sit with a group of people and choose to make up things about somebody who's actually innocent because you're coveting, Spirit said comparison, you're comparing yourself to them, that's not this person's fault. Maybe if this person had actually done something to them or did something that required this, I don't even think that if they did something, you should do anything at all. That's my opinion. That's what Spirit says. God will take care of everything. The laws of the universe will take care of everything. These people don't understand energy. There's something going on here, that something big happened. I'm trying to figure it out, but it's almost like there's a ceiling. Like I'm just getting really bits and pieces of it. I'll try to get more, but keeps asking you out. Yeah, somebody you had to keep turning down. Somebody who's immature, that confirmation. Who is that? Re-engage. Confirmation again. Somebody was upset that you kept rejecting them. So they decided to do something against you because they viewed you as an object. It was good for you to reject this person. Anyone who would go to this length to seek revenge against you because you turned them down is bad news. will let you have their yacht if you don't kill them. I have death. I have their death will earn you a Nobel Prize.
Hitchhiker.
Spirit just said hitchhiker, and I have this card. I'm just going to say what I see, and I don't know if it's true. This is for entertainment purposes only, but I'm just going to say what I see to just get it out for the data. This group of people teamed up against somebody who was innocent. They all knew each other, and they all knew the common denominator between all these people was you. Okay? They perceived you in a certain way because they were comparing themselves to you. One of them was upset that you're married and you're having babies and they're single and slutty and still giving head in the backseat of cars. One of them you turned down because you're not interested in them, possibly because you're married and they're immature and you kept rejecting them. One of them is your old roommates that you don't want to be roommates with anymore because they're scary and they could possibly be gross and possibly heavy set. They're shallow. They're all shallow. They're all dull. They all make up stories. They were all coveting thy neighbor. They're all comparing themselves to you. Okay? They teamed up together at a party. I don't know if they did this, what I'm about to say, at a party, or if they met at a party, exchanged numbers, and started like some kind of group chat with each other where they continually put you down and made up stories about you and justified an idea to steal something from you. They came back together, if not at this party, and they came up with they did some kind of Trinity, three of them. Three of them may have came together and did some kind of sexual thing together that involved a hitchhiker or some other stranger that was a innocent bystander of this. And they filmed it. There's something that they filmed. They made a video of this thing. They could have possibly posted it online with your face or something. Something like that. With your name on it and then showed it to your spouse or told your spouse that you did that. Something like that. Something very foul that's not true. Okay? And because they did this to somebody who's innocent, who follows the 10 Commandments, who walks in divine energy, they are now receiving supernatural experiences and spirit.
Probably not.
Or they're receiving some kind of backlash from doing that action, and it's not good. They're constantly losing. They're going to be in debt forever because they're passive aggressive and they're judgmental and they're condescending. They could possibly live in Ohio or Massachusetts. Okay? Because they judge somebody based off of their own insecurities. I want to know what they stole, though. Is happily married to a ruthless warlord. This could be a couple or something. This could be a couple with a child that they did this with. Who would get sucked into a multi-level marketing scheme? Somebody lied on purpose here. 12. Holy Divine Spirit, please clear my field of any energy trying to suck my vital force out. I command you to leave immediately. You're not welcome here. Thank you so much. Jeez. I just had this like rush of just fatigue all of a sudden. All right. I tried my best to like get the most information I could, but there's some kind of cap. I don't know if there's somebody projecting that they don't want us to like say what they did, or if spirit doesn't want us to say what they did. I'm not sure which one it is. But all I know is that these people did something against someone who was innocent. And now there's things happening to them because of their actions and because they deliberately they don't follow the 10 commandments. Spirit said Christian. They could claim to be Christians, but yet at the same time they do horrible things. Right action. I told you. What did I say? It's a choice. It's a choice. Let everything that wants to go, go, and everything that wants to come, come. Right action. These people took the wrong action against somebody who takes right action. And because of that, they're receiving some kind of backlash, something because of something that they chose. They made a deliberate decision, premeditated to do. Devote! Hello! Boyer! Oh my gosh, Boyer! Have you ever seen the clown that hides from gay people? I can't say that I have. I can't say that I have. Liberation. The doubts and fears still come up. You don't believe anymore that they're you. I saw so many dragonflies today, too. Because of this groups of people inability to liberate themselves from their doubts and fears, they projected their insecurities onto somebody who was like a mirror for them, glass. He was like a mirror for them. And instead of realizing the things they need to work on, they bent the truth and projected onto somebody who wasn't the things that they proclaimed. And then they were in some kind of illusion because they were a group of people that were feeding the wrong spiritual. Oh, Spirit just said spiritual. They may have done something together that's spiritual against somebody who's spiritual. Spirit said, yeah, right. This group of people did something on video that is spiritual in nature against somebody who's spiritual. Because when you say you speak a little Spanish and they try having a full-fledged Spanish conversation with you, they didn't believe that you were spiritual. They didn't believe that. They thought that they knew more about spirituality than you. It's a metaphor. You said you knew a little bit about spirituality and they didn't believe that you were capable of doing that. So they compared themselves to you and they went out and they did something even more spiritual than what you do. Okay? Something they did, I don't know what it is yet, something they did as a group on video, possibly something sexual.
8.
Spirit said 8. Possibly your spouse F's the person on your left. I don't know if they decided to make a video that is in the like of you and then tell your spouse about it, or if they made a video and told your spouse that it was you, or they made a video with your spouse. It's one of those. I'm not sure what it is, but it's something like that. Something to make you look like a horrible, cheating, slutty person. Okay. Letting go. These people's need to control the perception of this innocent person led them down this road. Their compulsion to have to control the narrative of somebody that they were trying to make look a certain way led them down a road where where they've contracted HIV, where they keep losing, where they're going to be in debt for the rest of their lives because of what they did, because they tried to steal something from somebody who walks in divine energy. Can you read the cards for astrological signs? Like, can you ask the cards to show you the month of October for Sagittarius?
Salt.
Spirit said salt. Spirit said salt. Spirit said no. Sorry. I try not to do the astrological signs because I find that people will, because you can be a sun sign, a moon sign, it's like varied. So can you read them that way? I could. I honestly don't know much about the astrological signs. Spirit said salt. I'm not personally guided to read that way because when I do, or what Spirit has said to me is that we don't want anyone to get stuck on someone being a certain sign or being a certain person. We want it to be a very like, salt means no, yeah, salt, like, like you wouldn't eat salt, no. It's like sour. Because what happens is people get caught up on the signs, like I'm a Capricorn, but my moon is Scorpio, and my whatever, my other one is, I think it's Leo. So if you're listening to a reading and someone is saying the signs, it could be any of those, but you might have a husband that's a Scorpio. And so then you'll think that that person's talking about your husband when they're really saying a part, some kind of energy that you're projecting, So I'm not guided to really go by those. And I know that for sure because I was like, well, maybe I should start doing, signs, readings about signs, but I'm just not guided to go in that direction. I'm guided to do more of like investigative kind of, I'm being guided to go more towards like criminal investigation. I don't know why. But I find that it's just, you don't ask why. You just kind of go with the flow and just see how it goes, So, do you ask the cards a question or do the cards lead you? Both. Both. For me, I'm clairsentient, or I'm really activating my clairsentience, so I try not to ask too many questions and try to trust that what I'm getting is what I'm receiving. Because if I ask a very specific question, which I do want to do in other times, but sometimes I don't ask a direct question. I just kind of follow the clues because it will unfold naturally the way Spirit is guiding it to unfold, as opposed to me deciding what direction to go in, So thank you, Devote, for asking those questions. I appreciate you. Do you ask the initial question for the reading, or do you not know what you're about to talk about? Because it's for psychic development, I try to detach myself emotionally to observe the information. I don't ask a question. I come into it saying, tell us what you want us to know. What is it we're going to talk about today? Sometimes if I want to be specific, I do have readings where I say, I want to connect with George Michael, or I want to connect with Matthew Perry, and those will be like specific ones. But there's other ones where I'm like, tell us what you want us to know. And then we'll see who pops into the energy, like Amelia Earhart, or not Amelia Earhart. I chose that one. Like Bob Marley, or Martin Luther King was one that popped in. So because it's for psychic development or energy reading, I try not to dictate what is being given because I want to be able to discern and to receive whatever is being given to me instead of me projecting what I want to know or what I want.
Ghost hunt.
Ghost hunt. Yeah, it's supposed to ghost hunt.
Suffocate.
It's like a way to read the energy without leading myself or without assuming what's going to be next, you know? Thank you. Thank you so much. Well, let me draw a couple more to end this out because there's grief. Oh my gosh, grief. These people are in regret. They're in regret. Tears are what happen when the ice in the heart melts. Oh, I'm gonna cry. Whatever happened here has melted the ice cold shackles of these people's hearts because only people with inactive heart chakras would act in this way. Once you get to a place of compassion, of empathy for how your actions are going to affect other people, once you get to that place, you don't need to hurt people. This is a group of people that trauma bonded against one person because they all compared themselves to somebody who was doing better than them. In whatever way that is, they chose to come together consistently to do spiritual things against somebody who was active in their heart chakra, someone who's compassionate, someone who's caring, someone who's beautiful energetically. When you meet somebody who lifts you up energetically, where you can feel that that person has something about them that's uplifting, that's joyful, that's happy, it isn't for you to compare yourself to them. It's for you to know the possibilities, the effect. Yeah, the effects of being around that person can be felt energetically. And when you come against somebody who walks in that energy, they're like a mirror for you to understand that you're acting out of your wounds. And if you don't understand energy, you won't be conscious of the way that you are acting, because that's what a generational curse is. It's a pattern of behavior that's been passed down through generations by observing other people in your family doing that against people and not understanding that it's actually wrong. It's not moral. So in the beginning of our read, we were talking about the Ten Commandments and why they had to be made, because without the Ten Commandments or the statutes of morality that were put in place by Source, we live in an immoral world where we don't respect each other, where we don't have boundaries, where we steal, where we hurt each other. And that is not divine energy. That's not source energy. Source energy is pure positive energy. And we come down here to have a physical, limited experience to be able to come back to who we are. This group of people were walking in dark energy, and they were practicing some kind of spiritual practice. Spirit didn't want to get into it too much, but it doesn't even matter if they're doing a ritual or not. They all chose to come together to come against one person. It was almost like they felt like, because they were a group of people, that they could bully one person and steal from them. I don't know if they stole time, energy, money. I don't know what they stole. Spirit doesn't want us to focus on that. They want us to focus on the fact that when you choose to walk in this energy and to act in this energy against somebody, especially when they're innocent, but to anyone at all, that's an energy that you're projecting. And so eventually, once the energy comes through all the chakras, because energy goes in through the top of the head, down, and then out the root chakra, and it comes back around, and goes in, and it comes down, and goes back in. Once it goes through all the chakras and it's ready to go back in, you're going to receive that energy as well. And that could be through people, places, or things. it already says that they're getting sick, that they're being weakened. They could possibly have HIV. They were doing something that was sexual, possibly committing adultery. They were lying. They were
Carolyn.
gossiping. They were doing so many things. And it says something about money. So they could have possibly even stolen money, because now it says they're going to be in debt for the rest of their life. So it's just a lesson in Spirit wants us to focus on what you project out. What you choose to project out to somebody will be exactly what you experience, especially if you're choosing to come against somebody who did nothing to you, who is an innocent bystander, who walks in the upright divine energy, who follows the 10 commandments. Spirit said they follow it casually. It's very easy to them. When you compare yourself to someone like that and you decide and choose to come up against them multiple times, relentlessly, over and over again, once it goes through the cycle, that energy has to be recycled, because energy does not die. Energy can be redirected, it can be transmuted, but it cannot die. And so these people don't transmute energy, they just project energy. And so now they're receiving that, and they're in grief. Well, I hope that they're watching this and they're understanding how energy works. And I hope that somehow this information can liberate them from their own doubts and fears as they come up, so they can release control or the need to control things or people. And I hope that it helps in any way. I love you, collective. See you on the next one.